Today's highly anticipated testimony in Washington could help define the Trump presidency. But this will not be the first time congressional hearings have gripped the nation. Chip Reid is at the Hart Senate Office building on Capitol Hill to show us others that have had a lasting impact. Chip, good morning.
Well, good morning. To put this in context, this is one of just a handful of hearings over the years that have risen to the level of being broadcast live on network TV. So while we're waiting for James Comey to arrive here to begin his testimony, let's take a look back at some of the other blockbuster hearings that have riveted the nation and shaped history.
Until this moment, Senator, I think I never really gauged your cruelty or your recklessness.
In a 1954 hearing, Army lawyer Joseph Welch expressed frustration with Senator Joseph McCarthy and his ruthless anti-communist crusade.
Have you no sense of decency, sir?
Presidential historian Robert Dallek remembers when then Senate Majority Leader Lyndon B Johnson arranged for a television network to broadcast the congressional testimony.
And Johnson knew this, that once they saw McCarthy with his 5 o'clock shadow and having people see how rude and abusive he could be, it undercut him terribly.
Our activities in South Vietnam.
Years later, in 1966, the Vietnam hearings exposed a stunning admission.
I think our military involvement in Vietnam has to be recognized as unfortunate, as something we would not choose deliberately if the choice were ours to make all over again today.
The U.S. was stuck in a war it was unlikely to win.
It raised questions about what was the purpose of it? Why were we fighting there?
From the Iran-Contra affair,
I came here to tell you the truth,
to the infamous she said,
I could not keep silent.
He said,
it is a high-tech lynching.
Of the Clarence Thomas Anita Hill scandal, public hearings have become part politics, part theater. Americans watched as Bill Clinton became the second president in U.S. history to undergo an impeachment trial.
it depends upon what the meaning of the word is. Yes.
That's exactly what we did.
And then watched again when Hillary Clinton endured an 11-hour grilling from the House Benghazi committee.
I have been racking my brain about what more could have been done or should have been done.
The most explosive hearing of all was Watergate.
These mistakes were made by only a few participants in the campaign.
It uncovered the extent of the cover-up by the Nixon administration.
I began by telling the president that there was a cancer growing on the presidency.
What began with a burglary ended with President Nixon's resignation.
And so, of course, it leads up to these Comey hearings, which create a sense of anticipation that people may hear something that's going to change the course of history. It's a kind of new national soap opera.
It is perhaps ironic that today's hearing is expected to preempt some soap operas. And as soon as this hearing ends today, you can bet that the pundits and historians will begin debating exactly where this ranks in the history of congressional witnesses. Charlie?
Chip, thanks. We'll be watching.